Hey guys, how you doing? What I'm going to put together for you right now is a little video about getting your virtual machine up and going for your Linux course. So I'm going to assume you've already downloaded your Apache Fedora 17 zip file and that you've already installed Oracle VirtualBox at this point. So what you want to make sure you do now is you want to make sure you go in and you unzip your Apache Fedora 17 file. Don't just double click on it like this. If you double click on it like that, you're going to end up seeing the file that you need, but it's going to be still in the zip file and your system is going to not like it at all. So just right click on it, go to extract all, wait a couple of minutes, you'll see a folder right next to it named the same thing. Go into that folder, you'll see your Apache Fedora 17 file. Just come up here, click on your bar, come down and copy that because you want to have where that folder is. Now what you're going to do is you're going to come over and you're going to start up your VirtualBox software. So instead of saying new, what you want to do now is you want to say import my appliance. You're going to open the appliance and make sure you're in the right spot. Oh. So you can kind of just click up here and then do that paste thing. Now that's where I happen to store mine on my D drive. You can store yours somewhere else. Doesn't really matter wherever you downloaded it to, unzipped it. I'm just trying to keep these a little neat because I got a few different virtual machines going throughout this term in particular. So once you've hit this, you want to click on your open virtualization file and just say open. Follow the install prompt next. The defaults for this should be good, so I don't think you really got to worry about that. The one thing I would change if I were you, or I will change, it's not, you don't really have to, is in right here. Come on. I'm going to put that on my D drive. So if you want to put this somewhere other than the default spot, that's where you do it. So you just change where you want that disk image to go. So I'm putting it in the virtual machines and I'm going to leave the rest the same. Initializing your MAC address cards doesn't really matter if you do it or not. Doesn't hurt to do it. I'm going to say import. At this point, we're going to have to wait a couple of minutes for the file to import. Depending on how fast your system is, this could be a minute to 2 minutes. It could be 5 minutes. It's never going to be much longer than that. I don't advise that you have Photoshop or any really high-end program running at the same time you're trying to do this. It is a bit of a memory hog. So on my system, it says it's going to be another minute and 20 seconds. I'm hoping it's going to be a little quicker. So just to recap while that's doing its thing, wherever you downloaded your file to, make sure you right click on it and then you extract it. Then go into the folder, not into the zip file, so that you can actually find that file. That's the file that you want to import. If you're not sure what the directory is, you just come up to your bar here, click on it, it'll give you your directory. You can actually copy it from here, so that when you go into the import part, you can just kind of paste that in and it'll bring you right to that folder. Otherwise, you can just browse until you kind of stumble across it. Either way is fine. Make sure you do it in the folder, not in the zip file. Okay. All right, we're at the very last part of the settings here, and once this is finished set up, you'll notice it says aborted here. Don't worry about that. That's just the way I shut it down before we packaged the thing up to ship it out to you guys. At this point, what I want to do is I want to click on Start. So I'm going to let this video run now until we actually get started and logged in. Okay, and we may get an error as we're coming along. I'm pretty sure some of us will. So I just want to show you what that error is going to look like. You can see here the error is going to be caused by this PAE part. if the error is going to happen, here's where it should occur any second now. And there it is. I can go into the log file to find out what that error is. In this particular case, I'm pretty sure I know what the error is. So if you get an error like that when the system starts up, you don't have to reinstall anything. Just come over to your system, go to your processor, and make sure that this enable PAE/NX is clicked on. When I go to start this thing up now, I should be good to go. Now there is one other spot that might give you some trouble. I'm going to make sure we can get in here first before I show you that. Because if you're continuing to get an error, it could be you don't have your VirtualBox tools installed. So I'll show you where to do that now in a second too. Interesting. Oh no, okay, we're good. Now, one of the weird things about Unix booting up versus, say, Windows booting up is Unix goes through, or Linux goes through and tries to load all the drivers it can load, and you'll occasionally see little errors like that from files that don't exist or drivers that you don't have. Not a big deal as long as that's where it's happening on the boot up. It'll say, can't find this. It's probing to see what's there. I got another video I'm going to do up for you, or I'll probably, there's already one done up, so I'll just link it, send you a link to it. That will show you a couple of tricks about working with the virtual machine itself. And now we're there. You'll see that there's two users that are listed. There's owner and there's me. I left this one here just in case the passwords get changed on this one, so that we got a way of getting into your system if we're stuck. So don't use the EdBurn account. That's what that translates into. Okay, and now password. Spell it right. And the password's listed on your on the download page. For this, you click, you log in, and in a couple of seconds later, you should have your opening screen. The one thing you want to keep an eye on this, because this looks a little different than some of the screenshots in your book, and that's because we're running a newer version of Fedora. In fact, when I put Fedora together, this was the most current copy of Fedora. I do believe that it was either today or yesterday they just released version 18. In the interest of actually getting at the course, I think we're going to stick with 17 though for going through now. Now, one thing that's a little different is the way your menus might look. So you click on this, you see activities. This is kind of your shortcut bar. Just let me scroll down here. So these are your kind of quick items, but if you click on your applications, that's sort of like your start menu for Windows. That's where all the other stuff is, and they're all grouped by various things. Okay, so we have that much ready to go. Now I wanted to show you the one thing you might run into if you did have an error besides that one that I just showed you. It might be coming from your VirtualBox itself. And if that's the case, come down to extensions here, and you'll see that there's an Oracle VirtualBox extension. You need to have this extension in for a lot of stuff to work, for your network to work, for being able to do USB stuff in it. So that needs to be there as well. So just keep that in mind, that if you're getting an error and it's not just that simple checkbox, check to see that you actually have this installed. Installing it's usually reasonably easy. I'd almost have to close up what I got here to do it, I think. I'll see, I'm in the machine there now. Anyhow, it's just a matter of downloading the file from the Oracle site, and you're good to go. Anyhow, these videos can't be longer than 10 minutes long, or my capture tool kind of stops working. So I'm going to stop here, and hopefully this will help you guys get over the first couple of